Hello and welcome to the League of Extraordinary Kickstarters, Empty Your Wallet Edition. Alright, thank you very much for that suggestion. We found it highly amusing.
That one was Natakue.
Natakue, yes. Thank you very much.
Natakue of Natakue's Corner, which is a great show to watch as well, by the way.
Absolutely. And, you know, didn't he do his own little Kickstarter recently?
Yeah. Made money and everything.
I know, right? Like it funded.
Extra models. Oh, for anybody that backed the Midnight Heroes Kickstarter.
Yes.
Check your email. You should have gotten a notice that he is going to be opening a backer kit. And
yes.
You'll be able to get the same $30 buy-in for the bunch.
Right.
Or $10 a piece.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I did get that email that he was going to do that. Okay, cool.
So I don't know. I might go in for a second double down.
Maybe. I don't know. I loved every one of those models.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how it's so outside of my normal realm of models. I don't know that I want to double down because I'm not sure that I'm where I am in the chibi world here.
All right. I wasn't going to double down because even the exclusive model I'm not going to need more than one of.
Right.
And then I remembered that A, they're going to be usable for the board game.
Right.
B, it's a board game about old school fighting games.
Then you were thinking about tag teams?
Which means C, you need the alternate costume so that you can both play the same character.
Of course.
Right?
I mean, I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But the fact that, we're going to have like 4 of them are a club, that doesn't mean we're not going to have enough.
Well, we will, but unless you're going to choose to paint yours, the alternate concept of mine.
Well, we already know I'm not painting mine the same as yours anyway.
Because you're not painting yours? Because it'll go, in the bins?
That was uncalled for.
I was trying to get away from that, and then you went somewhere where I don't know literally what direction you were going.
Because I don't paint at the same level as you and Allie, I don't paint things to look like they belong with yours.
Well, yeah, these are just going to be straight up blocked out comic book style paint jobs.
Okay. So that's what I was getting at.
All right, so let's actually get the show started.
All right. So we have a few Kickstarters to talk about. Go figure, it's the Kickstarter show with Kickstarters. Yay. All right, we're going to start with Arcworlde.
Arcworlde!
All right,
Lord Huntley.
Lord Huntley.
I have my teacup.
Yeah. Or like a saber.
I can't make them magically appear the way he does. So.
I know, right? We don't have that kind of editing. Anywho, he's his Kickstarter for the Battle for the Troll Bridge box set.
Yep.
Is significantly funded, and is
last 2 days.
Last 2 days of it. The resin, entire box in resin has unlocked, and now you can literally just get it. It's not even a separate pledge. You just keep maintaining your current pledge, add 15 pounds, and you can get it.
Oh, that was smart.
Yeah,
that was easier.
So no one had to change their pledges. You literally just add 15 pounds if you want it in resin. Done.
Well, that's good because otherwise you were going to have to decide between resin or rulebook.
Yes.
So
now I'm just gonna add 15 pounds, which I thought was really nice.
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
If you're gonna have a Kickstarter that has multiple materials, and I'm going to go into that a little bit later. Why I think more Kickstarters should do this, and why I'm actually planning it for something. Instead of making them separate pledges, make it resin add-on.
Yes.
And apply it just straight across the board.
Now, I will say that a little selfishly, and I know that it's not going to happen, but a little selfishly, I almost said I'm going to jump in on the big guy and add 15 pounds and see if he gives me all of the models in resin. Because of starter sets.
Okay.
And I'm sure.
Right.
I'm not actually going to do it, but there was a part of me that because I like all of his stuff, but I like it in resin better than I like it in metal.
I agree.
Not that his stuff in metal is bad.
Right.
I just prefer resin as a material to work with. So that being said, it wasn't explicitly spelled out to be no, but it was kind of
honestly, I think Grog's going to be resin anyway.
Right. Well, no, but it's the 180-pound pledge is the box set and then each of the Forces starter sets.
Oh yeah. Well,
that I'm not getting in resin.
No.
Much as I'd like.
Well, we kind of already do.
Well,
because we have all the starter sets in resin from the last time.
Didn't the orcs still come in metal? Because I don't think that was a resin option.
Oh, that's right.
No,
No,
the first four
the
were
first four were
resin.
resin options.
We got all 4 of those in resin, but
Right.
the orcs were,
and the
hobgoblins were not.
Yep.
Okay, but the sweet spots on this. Oh, excuse me. So the resin's unlocked. The next Kickstarter unlocked.
Well, also, it's the bridge has been unlocked.
the bridges have been unlocked.
And it's 2 different pieces.
Yes, and
Left bridge, right bridge.
And I think for £40 you get the whole thing, and for £15 you get half.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
Or was it £25 you get half?
I don't remember what the numbers were, but
I know it's £40
half
the
is
whole
more
thing.
expensive than half of getting the whole thing.
Then all right, then it's got to be 25 and 40 because I know 40 is the fall. I just can't remember
then
what
it's 25
because
and
I've been debating whether to throw the 40 down for the bridge on top of my other pledges. You know, if I weren't selling 2/3 of my box off to other people, that wouldn't even be an option at the moment.
No, but you know you are,
Right.
so just make sure you get the money from them ahead of time. and
right,
you're
they
good.
could throw it down. Right, but we are £900 from unlocking the dogs.
Yes.
It's 4 unique sculpts, 3 actual full-size dogs, and then a pug.
Yep.
Because I guess pugs are cool. And then what I'm really hoping that we get to in the next 48 hours, and I will be throwing down for this definitively, is the Arcworlde tote bag.
Tote bag.
The tote
you
bag.
know, if that gets unlocked, I'm gonna have to throw one down for Token Gamer checks.
And it's big enough. In the description on the thing, it's big enough to hold the box.
yeah, it's
It's
a full,
not small.
It's a full letter carrier bag.
Yeah,
so.
it's big. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe throw some of my new carrying cases that I got 4 of.
Oh, nice.
Coming. Yeah. Anywho, we'll throw some of those in there. But sweet spot on this is £60 for the box set with no box.
Yeah.
Just getting all
The
the
unboxed set.
The unboxed set, and £75, which gets you the box set and the rulebook.
Yeah. Now you can split the difference, and for £65, get the box
Box
added
with
to
the
the
rulebook.
unboxed set.
But
But
for £10, get the rulebook.
for either for £10 get the rulebook or save £5
and don't get the box.
and don't get the box. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the only reason to get the one in between is if you're not planning on playing the game, you have absolutely no interest in playing the game, and you know that you're not getting to the models in any amount of time,
And you want the box.
and they're just going in storage in the box.
Maybe. Or for the true collector who just wants to collect the box.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Because there are people out there who will want the original box
Yeah,
for collection.
there's some of
reasons.
those.
Yeah.
I forgot those guys.
Yeah. But
I don't deal with
not a
them
ton
that
of
much.
those. No.
Yeah.
I mean, even the collector in our club, me,
Yeah.
isn't that fanatic.
Yeah,
about it.
neither you nor Allie are going to go, oh, I
Yeah.
need to keep the
I
box.
need to see the box. No. In fact, the box goes away and it gets to my house because I don't have that kind of space.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. New Kickstarter that you, I think maybe a day or two. I mean, at most, still got like 20 some odd days to run. Global Defense Force.
Yes.
Okay. This is a 15mm sci-fi soldier dolls.
Yep.
Um,
Little tiny figures.
little time figures. There are 60 unique sculpts.
Let that sink in.
Yeah. 60 unique sculpts.
Yup.
Yup. So if you play 15mm sci-fi human anything,
Or just sci-fi armored anything.
you got to look at this. And 30 models, £20.
Yep.
60 models, £38.
Yep.
90 models, £54.
Yep. Which just hits the under $1 a model list at that point.
Yeah.
The others, just a scotch over $1.
Yeah. But there's ridiculously good value here, people.
Yep. And clean sculpts for 15mm.
Yeah, I mean,
too.
you look at it. We were looking at the picture, and like you just get this grid of pictures of models, and you go, yes. It was just yes.
I'm telling you, 15mm is really increasing. It didn't have the blowout year last year that I was expecting.
Maybe this
but
year.
it was because there was a couple projects like this, like Skullduggery, couple other ones that
didn't make it when we thought we
didn't
would.
happen in the year I expected them to, because they doubled down on starting with bigger lines.
Gotcha.
So instead of 3 decent sized lines like I was expecting last year, this year you're going to get 3 to 5 complete lines coming out.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. And these guys just look really awesome. So if you're into 15mm modeling and miniature, miniature war games, and we've been playing more and more in that realm, looking at stuff ourselves, it allows for a level of game that you can't get in 28. I don't care who what you're talking about. I'm a 28mm large scale game player.
Right.
But you can't do it. You can do it in 15, and these guys are really
Not without
cool.
massive table space.
Right, and not everybody has that kind of table space.
Right.
Not everyone has, you know, a 4x8 in their dining room.
Technical difficulties. You don't want to know what just happened. It's fine.
Destiny Novel Series is a Kickstarter that is coming out. It is the Kickstarter for the second book in this series,
Yes.
and it's a little bit different. I know you're saying this is a novel. Like, why are we talking about
books?
this? They have stretch goals up, and one of the stretch goals is for miniatures of the captain, who's the head of the crew in the storyline, and miniatures of the ship, which we have affectionately named the trope Destiny Aurora.
Yes.
The name of the ship is actually the Destiny Aurora, but but trope.
When you look at this Kickstarter,
Yeah.
the crew for this show, the crew for this book is immediately recognizable tropes.
Yes.
Now, the reason why I'm not railing against that is
That's what it's.
their appearances are so that you can recognize them, so that he can get into the personalities and histories of the characters faster.
Gotcha.
So, you know, he starts with tropes and then hollows them out and puts, you know, actual identities underneath the tropes. So it's actually
So
a really
tropes
good
aren't bad
series.
in that case.
Yeah. Tropes are only bad when you stay with the trope.
When all it is trope.
Right.
Got it.
Because if you think about it, that's what's made Game of Thrones so huge, is that Game of Thrones is nothing but a series of tropes. The only thing that George R.R. Martin is doing is he's taking every single fantasy trope and at the very last second going, and no, this is how the real world works.
Gotcha. Yes.
Like, it's literally every fantasy trope ever in any fantasy book.
Absolutely.
But he's changing the ending, and that's what's making it unique. Same thing here. You're seeing all these tropic characters, you're like, that's the thug, that's the face, that's this, that's that. And when you get into their personalities, you're going to be like, oh,
They're not just that.
he's not the thug. He comes from a world where he was conditioned and then had to break the conditioning.
Right.
Okay, this is interesting.
Right.
So
very cool. I mean, the series. Zach Lewis knows a lot more about the series itself than I do. Though I got to tell you, after looking at it, I got intrigued.
Yeah.
I wanted to go look at it. So, but you know, it does pertain because it's a really unique idea. That I mean, are these miniatures like wildly valuable? You know, in value? No, not really.
No.
They're
They're probably, honestly, probably going to be board game quality.
Yeah, but it's something unique and interesting, and somebody out there might want to look at them.
And it's worth mentioning because this is the first time you're seeing it going the other way. Yeah. You've seen a lot of Kickstarters recently.
Do the books to market.
Doing books attached to games.
Right.
Or books attached to miniatures.
This guy's doing miniatures
attached to books.
Which is an interesting idea. And,
right.
You know, like I said, I might... I mean, the only thing that's drawing me back on it, honestly, is going to be the price point.
Right.
$35 for both models pre-painted.
Yeah. And it's honestly because I don't think he's expecting to sell a lot of them.
So he's not going to...
So he's trying a thing, but to not lose all the ground he's going to make in the Kickstarter.
Right. He doesn't want to give them away and cost himself money in the deal.
Right.
So, I mean, it's really only going to sell to the people who think it's a cool idea and want them, and everyone else is just going to be like, oh, that's interesting. But it's there. It's an interesting idea, and you know what? That's a mainstream marketing thing of a book.
Right.
Pulling from our
niche market.
And that's worth celebrating a bit.
And that's also why I think it's worth mentioning and worth supporting.
Yeah.
Because, again, you support ideas that you want to see in the marketplace. Yeah. If you want to see a greater acceptance of models, if you want to see more exclusive figures of your favorite literary characters, whatever genre you choose to read,
absolutely,
you start making it obvious that they will sell.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. All right. Our fourth Kickstarter of our Kickstarter
Number
show.
4.
Number 4. Norse Viking Miniatures.
Yes.
And I didn't write it down, and now I can't remember, and I'm an idiot. Who's the guy?
Tre Manor.
Tre Manor. Okay.
Yes.
Tre Manor is running this guy, and I have truncated the name of his Kickstarter.
Yeah. All right. So you know how I normally rail about long names? I ran out of fingers.
It was,
yeah.
Anyway.
Trey should know better. He's a veteran. He's done enough.
And I think it was what I said when you brought the page up, and I started reading it, and I went, Trey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you know better than this.
Man.
It is a relaunch of his Vikings that he was trying to put out in plastic.
Yes.
That, when it became obvious, wasn't going to fund, he pulled.
Yeah, unfortunately, and this is really... It's the nature of the business, and it's unfortunately sad. Tre doesn't have a big enough presence in the industry yet to be able to sell the amount of figures that you need to be able to pay for plastic molding. The reason I say that's a shame is I was trying to needle everyone I knew into getting in that Kickstarter because the price point was really, really good. You were getting 15 models for $55, and these are red box Tre Manor sculpts. These are good, really, really good Vikings.
Yep.
Couldn't get enough money.
Couldn't get enough money to do it.
So instead, now you're looking at them in metal,
Yes.
which is going to be 8 models
For
$55, because that's a comparably good price in metal.
Yes.
It's just that,
It'll cost
unfortunately,
more.
that's a comparably good price in metal.
Yes. And a couple other things that are, unfortunately going to get lost because it goes to metal from plastic is you're not going to have as many options per model.
Yeah, you're not going to get the option of heads.
Right. I mean, and all of which is okay, but it's one of those moments where you just go, it's a shame.
He stepped out of his comfort zone. He tried. It didn't work. And the problem is as much as we just talked about positive reinforcement,
You got negative reinforcement.
you got negative reinforcement. Why should I try to launch something in plastic? It's only going to hurt my Kickstarter ratio.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, if you're a Tre Manor fan, or a Viking Models fan, go look at this Kickstarter. The models are gorgeous, because Tre Manor.
Merrick's picking some up. He
sure.
was in the last one.
I'm sure.
So,
Honestly, I think I was in the last one too, because you wouldn't let me not be. But
I had everybody, literally everybody in the club pledged in except for Odin, who was waiting to see if it got closer or not.
So it's a shame.
I tried, buddy. I really tried.
But they're gorgeous models. I may still get in on it anyway because they are gorgeous models at a decent price point. I just don't know what I'm going to use them for.
There's a couple other unique things in this one. Because he's not doing just the box,
Right.
he can put in a couple other models as add-ons,
Right.
a couple of stretch goals. So
So we'll see where it lays out. But
Right.
I mean, this one had not funded yet, right?
no, it just went up.
It just went up. Okay, just making sure. I didn't write down that it had, but however, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
But they're gorgeous models. It's Tre Manor. If you like Vikings, go look at it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Our last game Kickstarter we're going to talk about today. Parallax.
Yay!
All right. Parallax is funded, and funded to the point where some schlub named Tom Haswell is going to get to write a choose your own adventure book for it.
All right. Now the book is okay, and you know I don't like. You
don't like
I don't like
other-
pimping my own stuff.
Yes.
So I'm not going to, but I'm going to say.
No, I'm going to pimp it up. By the
No.
way, oh, it's gorgeous.
I'm going to say, the cover art for the book, the cover art that Adam picked for this book, phenomenal.
Yeah, when you got the picture and you posted it on Facebook, I like you were giddy about it. And I looked at the picture and went, "Ooh, that's sexy."
Right? Like
Yeah,
classic,
old school D&D first edition adventure
like
frontage.
the classic old adventure books.
Yes.
Like literally, I started going through some of the old ones, and cause the titles I remembered, and one of the books that I remember specifically was one of my favorites. Almost identical cover, down to the same color orange in the banding. Everything.
It's really awesome. It really looks cool.
Top notch.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I understand exactly what this product is that we just got unlocked.
Okay.
Are you writing scenarios for the game?
No.
Okay.
It is actually going to be a PDF of a choose your own adventure
Like you
novel.
get to the bottom of the page, decide what you're going to do next, turn to page 43.
Right.
Okay.
Although I'm looking at some interesting action for it, in that it looks like right now it's probably only going to be unlocking in the PDF, not a softcover book.
Yeah.
Which means I don't have to format it at this time for print.
Gotcha. So it allows you some leeway.
Well, you can page tag in a PDF.
So you can literally just click and it opens.
And you can do it with concealed page numbers. So this might actually be a make a damn choice book.
Right,
because there ain't no going back.
Oh my!
Because you don't know what page you were on, because there's no page numbers.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can get it to work yet.
But that's really
I'm talking
cool.
to some people. But if that can happen, that's going to be amazing. Anyway, the book is solid.
Yes.
The sculpts are phenomenal.
Yes.
Literally, the characters in the book are based on the sculpts that will be in the Warbands.
Awesome.
So, like, you'll read a guide's description.
No. Does
Okay.
that include the two new ones?
No. Well, no.
The two
because
models
I already
yet?
had the book done by then.
Damn it!
So,
Okay. But so it's going to include the models for the original set.
yeah.
Okay. I mean, that sounds really cool. And if you get that PDF thing to work, that'll be awesome.
I'm trying. I want to play around with it. If that can happen, like I might write a lot more of these.
Because that sounds really cool.
Because
Right.
like now you go and you're stuck. But think about how much rereadability that gives.
Right.
Because you got to go back to the start.
To start, like, and how many choices did you make to get to the end? Oh my god, that's awesome. That's brilliant.
The answer to that is over 40.
40 choices to get
Over
to the
40.
end? To get to the you live ending?
To get to the quickest ending.
The quickest ending is 40.
Yeah.
So, like, my second choice isn't you die?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to hate those books. Like, where literally you get 3 pages in, you're like, all right, I'm going to go do this. You die. Well, screw you.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
anyway.
none of that.
All
Well,
right.
at least not for your main character.
Gotcha.
It's a party story.
Wait. So
Kerchunk, kerchunk.
you just start whittling them down as you go through.
Like a leaf on the wind, baby.
Oh, too soon. Too soon. It will always be too soon.
It'll always be too soon.
Yes, it'll always be too soon. A couple other things to talk about the Parallax. I just mentioned 2 new models since its launch were divulged, and you've got the Blood Magic Sorcerer Mage thingy.
Oh yeah, the Minotaur Mage. Oh, such a good model.
And then there's the new, I've got an axe.
Question: how do you stop a raging Hajin?
Answer: you don't.
You don't.
You're just done.
Like, because that was a great sculpt. Because before that, you're looking at the Hajin going, oh, stoic mage,
And
peacemaker, oh,
rampaging elephant.
berserker elephant.
Yes.
Well, okay then.
So that's how that goes. Okay.
Alright. So much for that.
All right. There are 2 Kickstarters. 2 unlocks. I think we would say would be achievable. So, the first of which is at 12,500. You get a free tier or devoid model of your choice in your size for your warband.
Yes.
So if you're in the large size, you get a large one. If you're in the small one, you get the small one. Go figure. See how that works?
Yep.
The second of which, and the one that I hope Adam gets to, and I hope he doesn't, because it's just going to cost me money. The rulebook will be printed in soft cover, not just PDF. It'll be soft cover printed with a foil stamp numbered Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah. Kickstarter exclusive edition rulebook.
Kickstarter exclusive rulebook.
Foil
Foil
stamped.
stamped. Numbered.
Yep. NRFD.
Sorry?
Never removed from box.
Never remember about. Like literally, this guy, I swear Adam got a hold of my list of my holy grail of things to buy on Kickstarter and said, well, I'm going to make sure that guy buys that.
Yeah. He was literally just trying to see if he could get you to fund the entire thing, I think.
I did.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of money, sir, but if I did.
If he did, you'd be at 15 grand right now.
Yes, you would, because I want it and I don't. Because I don't know how I'm going to afford that for 2-3 days. But anyway, I hope you get to it, because I want it. Okay. All right. We have 2 more Kickstarters to go.
Okay.
They're both terrain-based, because terrain-based Kickstarters are awesome.
Yes. And people should get more good terrain.
Yes. And speaking of good terrain, both of these are ridiculously good terrain.
Agreed.
Okay. The first one we're going to talk about is something we hadn't talked about yet. It is the Victorian Steampunk Tabletop Terrain.
Yes.
This thing has a 20-minute video that you really only need to watch the first
Yeah. Only
30
complaint I have
seconds of
about
it.
this whole thing, that Kickstarter video, 45 seconds.
That's all it needs
The
to be.
beginning of it, then show your face and go, hi, I'm so-and-so from this and that.
And I'm
This is my
making this."
Kickstarter, please look below. You should have stopped there.
Yes.
Because there is nothing more dynamic than that intro, watching him just build building after building after building after building with the same modular pieces.
Alright, so it is a MDF terrain set that is completely modular to build any size building with different rooftops, different tchotchkes,
Different interiors.
Like, it's it's mind-boggling. Literally, you watch that first 45 seconds of that video and you go, yes, and it looks gorgeous, and it's awesome, and it's a token-based system where you're going to pledge for a certain number of tokens. Those tokens equate to certain pieces. You know, so each piece might have a value from 1 to whatever.
It's got some maps laid out telling you how many points they're worth. It's really easy to negotiate.
Yeah, it's a very...
It's well put together.
I gotta tell you, and I'm becoming more and more a fan of the token-based system for terrain-based Kickstarters.
I agree. Still not sold on them for models.
Right.
Because I think they complicate things way too much.
For the models. And we've seen bad token-based, terrain-based systems as well.
Yes.
But there's been a couple companies that have come out with good ones in the last few Kickstarters that were like, all right, maybe people are getting the hang of how to actually set this up.
Right.
So you're not confusing the crap out of your customer base. But that allows for a level of customization. As long as you're controlling your costs, then I think it's great.
Yes.
If you're adding costs, don't do it. But
pretty much.
Yeah. But in this case, he's literally building a modular set, so it is completely cost effective to do it.
Yeah.
And none of them are discounted ridiculous.
Yeah. And I mean, you're not getting... He hasn't broken down the modules. You're pledging 4 modules.
Right.
If he burns a module at a time,
Right.
throws it in a bag, it's real easy to sift.
Right.
So.
He knows exactly how many of each he needs. And you've got, I think it was for $10 you get 4 tokens. For 25 you get 10. For 100 you get 40.
40.
By the way, that's no discount on any of those.
Right.
From the 100 up, it goes 200 and 500.
Right.
And for 200, oh no, there was a 250.
200, 250, 500.
You get a small discount. Basically, you get for 200 you would get 80 plus, and I think it's plus 5.
Plus 5.
And then at 250,
So
it's
not even 10%.
Yeah, and then at 250 it was, I think it was 90 and 10.
And 10.
And then at 500 it was 160 and
the same mathematical
20.
value.
Yeah, like it was not a great. He built it in a way that's like, look, this is what's going to cost you. If you go really big, I'll give you a small discount.
Right.
And other than that, I'm going to control all my costs.
Yeah.
And I don't blame him.
So I mean, so there's no reason to go ham on it.
Oh, and it is way funded too, by the way.
Yeah,
People.
there's no reason to go ham on it, with the exception of the fact that it's a gorgeous freaking building, and you could make a big,
you can make a town out of it.
Beautiful centerpiece. Like, you want to make a true, like, Victorian manor house out of this, with the connecting bridges and everything?
Oh, absolutely.
It's
you can
all
do
in
this.
there.
Yes. So that would be the reason to go huge on it if you want to spend. I mean, for $500, I mean, look, I've looked a quick glance at it, but I mean, you literally could build the table that is the manor house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's awesome. Go look at it. It's really cool stuff. If you're into Victorian, anything Victorian period or steampunky or Malifaux, this is
the way to go.
Yes.
Very, very good.
All right. Last Kickstarter of our show.
Yay.
Awakening Terrain. We've talked about them once before because when they first launched, we were ridiculously impressed.
Yeah.
With the 3 sets they had at the time, which was the Tesla, the Crystals, and the Demon Portals, I think it was. Okay. And they were gorgeous. And then the first set of stretch goals was literally unlocking each piece of it, the next set, which was the sci-fi set, which now has Second Class Elitist trying to figure out how he's going to pay for it.
Freaking gorgeous. It's freaking gorgeous.
And then they're working on their next set unlocks at this point, so they've really blown through most, I think probably a lot farther than they thought they were going to go. Yeah. Because now they're at the point where they're really almost, I think at this point they're only showing renders of stuff because they've run out of stuff they already
and they're not even showing renders of the next full set. Like, here's the renders we have done from the thing that we don't have done yet.
Yeah. But they're into this blood and bones, where so everything's flesh bits and kind of cool. And the renders we saw, me and him both went, that's gorgeous.
Yep. You know what? It had it might have been just because we had just been talking about so much Malifaux and steampunkery and whatnot, but it really had a classic
horror film.
It had a classic Weird West kind of feel.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. The whole set kind of has that feel to it, to one degree or another. Granted, the sci-fi is a little bit more advanced than that, but that Tesla set, that fits in there completely.
Yeah.
So, I think that's kind of, I think that honestly that's kind of maybe these guys'
Might be their niche.
their niche of the world that they like to play in.
But great pieces, man.
Great pieces, and again, you bid for what you're looking for. If you want the terrain set and the objective markers, you get that. If you want, they have bases that go along with all of these, you can get that. You can do an add-on for the bases if you want the terrain.
Right.
And then they have and you can get the terrain pre-painted if you're into that.
If you're into that sort of thing.
Right.
But yeah, the new set totally Deadlands feeling to me. Like I'm not even sure why.
No, Deadlands, completely. I got you. Absolutely.
Right. You see exactly.
As soon as you said it, I'm like, absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
it right there.
Yeah. I love every bit of it.
And if you did it in a Deadlands way, I think you could tie the pieces of that to the
Tesla pieces,
the demon pieces, and the Tesla pieces, and you got this whole, supernatural Weird West
kind of
super
thing
tech
going on.
Yeah.
I like it. I just think these are great pieces. It's got about a week left-ish. So we want to make sure we touch base with it just in case it ends before we get to it again.
Yep.
But all right, that's our Kickstarter.
That's all
show.
we got.
That's all we got, guys. Honestly, hope you guys really enjoyed it. A lot of talking to you about Kickstarter, about individual projects, no rants this week, because no one's done anything to tick us off.
I'm glad that when we can talk about people doing things good and lead people that way,
Yes.
rather than showing people what not to do.
Yes.
Because I don't want to be that guy. I want to be the positive guy.
I know, but sometimes
There's enough ranting shows on the internet.
this is true, but sometimes people just need a good talking to.
It's true.
Okay.
Also, if you have a good idea for next week's show, we didn't get any suggestions for this one, so we had to reuse one from the week before. So we are out of ideas for next week's show.
We need titles.
Joe Zeppers can't win every week, so please come up with other ideas and put them down below. And I guarantee you, somebody, if we get enough suggestions, somebody will beat Joe this week.
Yes.
But I want to use him as. I want him to suggest one again this week.
Just so that we have one.
So that we have that measuring stick.
Yes.
To use
and honestly, here's the thing. How did we decide the last three?
Oh, we just read them, and
whichever one
makes us laugh more.
chuckle. That's it. Like literally, it's like, wah! That one wins.
Yep.
That's how we made the decision. It's just whatever we think is funny.
Yep.
Alrighty.
So thanks for watching, guys. Go spend your money. Hit these projects up, especially the ones that are about to end. And we will see you all next week.
Until next time, guys.
That's not making all the shit.